gonna be the ones with money and bitches. The pussy's gonna be the niggas on the floor bleeding. Now everybody keep your eyes on the prize, cause the ride get tricky. So you got some niggas on your side that say they're your friends, but in real life, they're your enemies. Then you got some motherfuckers that say they're your enemies, but in real life, they eyes is on your money. So your enemies that say they true, but in real life, them niggas will be snitches. It's a dirty game, y'all. Y'all got to be careful about who you fuck with and who you don't fuck with. Cause the shit get wild, y'all. Keep your mind on your riches, baby. Keep your mind on your riches. 911, it's an emergency. Cowards tried to murder.
Concerned with profit, just like every other business. That's why we need to do ourselves a favor here. Turn off the TV, shut off the propaganda, start asking the tough questions. Forget got milk. What we should be asking is got truth.
I have the first handheld iPad type of computer that I made up in 1983. That the people used on the floor. So this was connected to a battery, and here you could display options, you know, various strikes and expiration dates, and here were the bids and here were the offers, and that way our people on the floor could see what our market was. And via these touch-sensitive
It is a touchscreen.
points. It's a touchscreen, yeah.
And we're talking what year?
1983.
And what were other people?
Other people, well, other people use their minds.
So did you patented this?
No, I don't believe in patents. I believe that patents make other people disincentivized in coming up with new things.
So other people were sort of copying you?
Sure, other people always copied me, but that's okay. That moves the world forward.
I'm going to try to explain metaphorically. It's really a circus, so I'm going to make it a little bit of a comedy here about what happens. But sadly, this is pretty much the case. We're going to have a concert hall. Let's say it's Metallica. I mean, I like metal music, so Metallica playing at this concert hall. The ticket counter opens at 6 p.m., so I'm going to go and stand in line. But after a while, other people come in after me. I'm no longer at the end of the line. There are these scalpers. Well, they're in line with me also, okay? I can see them because they're all wearing the same T-shirt. They also have a very, very close relationship with the exchange, you know, with the venue. And what is that relationship? Maybe one of them brings a significant amount, of volume to this. And what does that mean? He buys a lot of tickets. Of course, he sells those tickets to customers here, but one guy brings a lot of volume. Another guy, one of these scalpers, actually owns 10% of the venue. Okay. The third guy, he doesn't have a lot of volume. He's not big on this venue, but he's big on another venue, and he's got a board seat on this in this venue. So there's a very, very close relationship between these scalpers and the venue. Scalping Metallica tickets. When the ticket counter opens, I'm going to equate that to the moment when in the stock market a price can change. And 6 p.m. on the dot, this is what I'm going to witness. Every single one of these guys is literally going to immediately, in 1 picosecond, they teleport, okay? They are all here ahead of me. How did that happen? I asked some of the other people, and they say, oh, they're really fast. I'm like, no, they teleport. That guy was behind me. How does he get ahead of me? There really isn't any difference between an order type and being the guy who wears the T-shirt. You just put a little code on your order and you just say, hey, Don't treat me badly, please.
The milk industry is only concerned with profit, just like every other business. That's why we need to do ourselves a favor here. Turn off the TV, shut off the propaganda, start asking the tough questions. Forget got milk. What we should be asking is got truth.
2012 is for real. They said the Mayans was talking about 2012. Then they said the Mayans disappeared. I'm here to tell my people it's time to stop believing bullshit just because a motherfucker tell you bullshit with a straight look on their face. We too old, we too smart, we too motherfucking good to believe shit don't make no fucking sense. You too old to be believing in evolution with your stupid motherfucking ass. Evolution say people came from monkeys, and the question is, why is there still monkeys, you dumb motherfucker, you? Is these the retarded monkeys? They didn't turn into people just yet. Get your stupid ass the fuck out of here. Finna be 2012, and you better believe something. If you trying to look for a God and you ain't got one, you could do a lot worse than Christianity. Let me tell you, if you ain't got nobody to worship, you could go for Jesus. Jesus has been kicking ass for a long time. Jesus, that is,
I don't go to church.
Something else. First,
God don't live in church. They say the body is the temple. I'm walking in church right now. Soon as you go to church, there's somebody trying to stick a dick in you and they need some money. Every war in humanity's history has been over some kind of motherfucking religion. You know what I mean? I don't get caught up in that bullshit because I don't think God ever wrote a Bible or a Quran. He didn't have to write no shit. He ain't no playwright. It's written in your essence. Because the Bible is written by men. The book of Peter, the book of John, the whole book about Jesus, but that nigga ain't wrote one book. The motherfucker that is about didn't write shit. All the hangouts wrote a book. Shit, I know the nigga. And you notice in each one of them book, they the closest one to Jesus. Peter like, shit, me and Jesus was tight, nigga. In John's book, shit, I was damn near the nigga daddy, you know. God didn't write no book. It's written in your essence. Nobody ever had to tell you it's wrong to kill your mama. Somehow you born innately knowing that. Which means you born knowing right and wrong. So put the book down, because it will fuck you up. You understand me? It starts out messed up in the beginning in the book of Genesis. In the beginning there was Adam and Eve. And Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. And Cain and Abel got married. To who? Where did these mystery bitches come from?
Because I gotta tell you the truth, folks. I gotta tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now, you talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit.
But tell you right now, the number one reason people hate America, the number one reason is because of our religion. Americans worship money. We worship money. Separate God from school, separate God from work, separate God from government, but on your money it says, in God we trust. All my life I've been looking for God and he's right in my pocket.
The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy, they're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
I don't even know what they are. Mm-hmm. In that case, it might be a good idea to get a little information with a fellow who owns and operates a company that makes and sells oil drums. Each year, customers buy more and more from our because he makes a better oil drum than his competitors. One day, customers demand more oil drums than the owner can produce. He figures it will take about $3 million to do the job. So he decides to form a corporation to sell shares in his business to raise the capital he needs. First, the owner goes to the state government to get a corporation charter and permit sell shares in this business. Next, our friend goes to an investment banker and shows him the record of the oil drum manufacturing company's past performance and plans for expansion. The investment banker decides to help our friend sell shares in the corporation to raise the $3 million. However, before any shares in the corporation can be sold, certain information must be filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission in Washington. The investment banker and the owner must swear that the information they file contains nothing but the truth. Registration with the SEC does not imply that the government approves the stock issue as a good investment, but only assures the public the material statements about the stock issue are false. Punishment will be according to the law. After SEC registration is effective, the investment banker pays the owner $3 million in exchange for a certain number of shares in the Oil Drum Manufacturing Corporation. The investment banker sells shares of the common stock to people at a price of $3 million investment and shows a profit for his services in selling the stock. Money received from the sale of shares in the business builds a new and better plant, which produces more and better oil drums. The people who bought common stock own proportionate shares in the corporation, tools, equipment, and all of its assets. Common stockholders elect the directors of the corporation. Directors represent the stock and are responsible for the way the business is run. Directors determine the amount of dividends, if any, to be paid out of earnings to the stockholders. Naturally, when stockholders invest in a business, they hope to receive dividends to help pay for necessities of life. Within a few short years, an increasing demand for the company's product poses a friend. How can he fill all the orders? He will have to build more plants and buy more tools to increase production of oil drums. It will take about $20 million to do the job. One way to get this additional capital is to sell more stock to many more people. So the Oil Drum Manufacturing Corporation votes to send its president to the New York Stock Exchange to see if their common stock can qualify for listing. The corporation wants to list its securities on the exchange so that the additional stock they need to sell will be more attractive to investors all over the nation. Securities listed on the New York Stock Exchange can be sold for cash any time in this national marketplace.
Each year, inquire about listing their securities, but only those which can pass a thorough examination as to their financial health are accepted.
Calling the president of the Oil Drum Manufacturing Corporation. Calling the president of the Oil Drum Manufacturing Corporation. Report to Examination Room B. Attention all members of the Stock List Department. Report to Examination Room B.
The Stock List Department examines the qualifications of corporations to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. The corporation must have substantial assets in plants, tools, equipment, and cash. There must be a broad distribution of its shares among a large number of stockholders. The corporation must show successful management and sales records and annual net earnings at the time of listing of at least $1 million. The proposed stock issue must meet federal, state, and New York Stock Exchange regulations. The corporation must agree to report to its stockholders at frequent intervals. If the examination by the Stock List Department indicates the corporation meets minimum requirements of the exchange at the time of the examination, the corporation's application for listing is recommended. The Board of Governors of the New York Stock Exchange finally approves the application and sees that it is made public.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Now that the Oil Drum Manufacturing Corporation stock is listed, its name is abbreviated for use on the ticker tape. Each time ODM stock or any other stock listed on the exchange is bought or sold, the ticker tape flashes all over the nation the price and number of shares traded. A buyer in Colorado wants to purchase some ODM stock. The buyer's broker in Colorado sees that the last ODM transaction was at $10 a share. The buyer could buy from 1 to 99 shares, which would be known as an odd lot. But a Colorado friend decides to invest in 100 shares, known as a round lot. The Colorado broker wires the order to his New York office. The buy order is telephoned to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. It is given to the firm's floor partner, who becomes the representative of the buyer in Colorado. The floor partner goes to the post where ODM stock is traded. The representative of the buyer in Colorado bids $10 a share for 100 shares. But at the moment, there is no stock offered for sale at this price. In the meantime, however, in Maine, an ODM stockholder who needs cash decides to sell his 100 shares if he gets $10 a share. The Maine broker wires the sell order to his firm's representative on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. This firm's floor partner, representing the seller in Maine, offers to sell 100 shares of ODM stock at $10 a share. The price of $10 a share is mutually acceptable, and the transaction is made. Like the cowboy in Colorado and the fisherman in Maine, investors all over the country use the facilities of brokers who are members of the New York Stock Exchange whenever they want to buy or sell stock of companies listed on this national market. Yesterday's savings financed the miraculous growth of our railroads, automobiles, airplanes, farm machinery, communications, electric light and power, textiles, and countless other industries contributing to a more enjoyable life. If a part of our savings continue to flow into industry, American labor, management, and capital can continue to build new tools and plants. Industrial expansion creates jobs for hundreds of thousands of young people who must find employment each year. A growing capacity to produce things which make life better in peacetime can be our greatest protection in time of war. When danger threatens, we can convert industry to produce the things we need to defend ourselves. Common stock investments have helped to make our country prosperous and powerful. Owning a share in American industry is like owning a share in the future of our nation. But remember, John Q, there is a risk as well as an advantage in owning any kind of property. So get the facts before you put your money to work.
But Let me tell you right now, the number one reason people hate America, the number one reason is because of our religion. Americans worship money. We worship money. Separate God from school, separate God from work, separate God from government, but on your money it says, in God we trust. All my life I've been looking for God and he's right in my pocket.